How did you kind of come to those goals, and what were they? Speak to those.
You can't even imagine, man. There was days that I was getting ready to go for practice and crying.
Is that kind of the main advice you would give to people who are maybe trying to find their confidence?
I was not the best, but I was the hardest working dude on the planet Earth. I felt like
If you viewed that season as a failure,
like you get your career, 80% of that career is failure, 90 maybe, and that there's that 10% which is a good moment, successes.
I want to learn what it takes to be truly successful, not just in sports, but in life. So I'll be sitting down with some of the elite athletes, business leaders, and coaches who've built something special to hear their stories, their values, their goals, the wins, the losses, the lessons they learned along the way, and everything in between. I want to know their grind. I'm embarking on this journey as a student of success, keeping a growth mindset and trying to figure it out piece by piece. And I want you to join me. Whether you're chasing your own dream, grinding through adversity, or just want to hear some good storytelling, this series is for you. Together, we'll learn what it means to work, to grow, and to fight for what's important, one story at a time. Unique, patented design, slim, minimalist wallet that offers RFID protection from all those crazy people trying to steal card info. Aerospace-grade aluminum exterior with custom personalization to make it your wallet. It can also hold up to 20 cards. I even have my own dash clip that I carry with me every day. It keeps all my cards protected and accessible to me at all times. For example, I keep my student ID tucked behind this band for easy access scanning into my apartment. With the holidays right around the corner, there isn't a better time to go visit thedashclip.com to check out their newest deals. I'd like to thank DashClip for sponsoring this video, and I really think you all should check them out. Welcome to Behind the Grind, a series that will look to uncover the stories behind some of the great athletes, business leaders, and coaches, exploring the mindset, the values, and the experience that shape their success. I am your host, Will Hanke, and through conversation, I hope to get to know their stories and to know their grind. We're opening with a very special guest, a teammate of mine from Peristeri, Greece, former 4-star international recruit. At just 21, he played 3 seasons professionally in both the Greek Basketball League and the Basketball Champions League. He is a developing chef and current Louisville big man. Please give a warm welcome to Vangelis Zougris. Zoo, thank you so much for joining us today. It's really a pleasure.
It's my pleasure, Will. You know, I could not deny this honor to be here, man. I really enjoy being here, and thank you for having me as your first guest, man.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you can be a fan favorite for the Louisville fan base this year, and I wanted to open things up and give people an opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. So just to get things started, talk to me about, your first couple months living in the States, what you've realized and how it's kind of compared to back home in Greece.
I mean, there's not many stuff I could say are similar to back home. That's a completely different way of life here, completely different, continent, you know what I'm saying? It's been good though. Since I got here, it's been so much fun. I love the guys. Love the coaches. Everybody has welcomed me with their hands open. I never had a single issue with nobody. Every single stuff I needed to get fixed, I got it fixed immediately. Everybody was so welcoming, and it's been great. Back home is way different. Obviously, this is where I was born, raised at. This is what I call home. Greece is what I call home. Peristeri is what I call home. Will, So I mean, I miss family a lot of times, but I have a family here too. The guys, everybody, other teammates are so close to me that they're family here.
Yeah, well, that's awesome to hear, Zoo. It sounds like you're kind of experiencing that Southern hospitality, and you've really 100%. Found a home here in Louisville.
100%.
We're very glad to have you here. Absolutely. What would you say is one thing, either good or bad, that has surprised you about living in America thus far?
That's a great question. I will go with college basketball as a whole, man. It strikes weird to me how people love this sport. Like they love college basketball specifically. I was not expecting it. You know, back home we don't have such thing as a college college. You know, how do you say? My English, I'm sorry.
Environment, college environment.
Like a college league. My
Yes.
fault. Like a college league, right? The way it works back home is like professional teams have their academies, right? And a kid can enroll into their academies and then progress into the professional team. There's no such thing as a college league where a specific age group can compete at such a high level. So it strikes weird to me how people love the college league so much. It's not something we have out there, and people are obsessed here. You know, we played Kentucky the other day. It was packed, 23,000 people. Like the Yam was crazy. I like never seen something like that
Absolutely.
before.
It really is amazing how certain fan bases around the country just really rally around their
100%.
schools. And here in Louisville, you really can't find a better example. We don't have any professional teams, and so people really, really have a lot of pride, and they care about the basketball team, the football team, all the teams, and it really is special to be a part of.
It is.
So we're here today to kind of talk about your story, talk about your grind. So we'll go ahead and get right into things. Let's start with some of your goals. What were some of the goals that you set early on? Why those goals? Did you come up with them on your own? How did you kind of come to those goals, and what were they? Speak to those.
Are you talking about like when I started or when I got here?
When you started playing basketball,
started playing
young
basketball.
Zougris,
Yeah.
when you decided that this was
Young
going to be
Zougris
your
was a
thing.
dog, man.
Yeah,
Young
he
Zougris
was, I bet.
was a hungry dog, man. Well, I know many people don't know this, especially out here. Maybe back home, more people know about this. But I started playing basketball like at a very old age comparing to like the other kids around me, right? I started playing basketball when I was 15. So when I started, there was a point where, 15-year-old right now, like in the States, imagine you already prospect them like there's like number one pick and he might be the number two pick, and they're handling the ball and they're shooting it and they're dunking stuff. And when I started playing basketball, I couldn't, bounce the ball between my leg once. That's a true story. And it's just my goal was just to be better. I loved it so much that I just wanted to be better. I wasn't expecting any of this. I wasn't expecting me to be here talking to you in a podcast about my basketball journey so far. Was just a 15-year-old kid that loved what he did, and I just wanted to be better and better and better and better, and just work hard, and one thing brought the other.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I think, like you said, you see a lot of kids now that have early expectations from such a young age, and you don't hear that kind of story a lot where guys start at a later age and really start with nothing and just have to trust your training, trust your coaches, and just work at it and lean into that passion that you have for the game. And I know that
100%.
passion very well. And so would you say you've achieved what your younger self thought you might be able to do at this age?
Yeah, I'd say I've overachieved it. As I said before, man, when I started playing, every kid I was going against was like so much ahead of me. It was like so tough for me to keep up, but I just, put faith in what I do. I wasn't planning to, go professionally, right? When I was 15 years old, I didn't even know what I want to do with my life, stuff like that. I had a plan that I was thinking about, but I wasn't sure. But I knew basketball was not going to be the option, right? But how it popped up as a serious candidate as far as which career path I should follow, let's say, it's when, it popped up when I really realized that I loved that. Like, I love basketball. I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, I don't care if I don't make enough money to live from, but I want to do it so much. I love it. It's like something I can't stop doing. Maybe work another job at the meantime, at the same time, try to make ends meet. But I'll definitely keep playing basketball. And once I knew that was going to be my future, I just started devoting more and more time and more effort. So I definitely say I have achieved what younger Zoo was thinking about and his goals, because his goals were just to have fun. And right now I'm out here, doing what I love, taking care of my loved ones, my family, myself, and just having fun, which is more than what I could have ever dreamed of.
That's
Honestly.
awesome. I think that's a great perspective and a great way to go about things. You know, it kind of
100%.
takes some of the pressure away when you're just doing it for fun. And if you're doing something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That's what they
100%.
say.
Yep,
And so
yep.
just leaning into that passion, knowing you're doing what you love, and being able to give 100% to it and see the results, see yourself get better, and just enjoy the process. It's really doesn't get much better than that. So let's move into some challenges. Can you remember back on your younger self, or maybe the last couple of years even, where maybe you were faced some challenges or even some shortcomings, and just kind of think back and look what might be the reason you failed, and how did you kind of respond from that?
Well, that's a great question, man. Well, honestly, my path and my journey so far, if I could use one word to describe it, would be constant failure. Like, I've been failing so much, man, that you can't even imagine. It's like basketball to me and to the most people I know, successful ones, is a sport where you work, like you get your career, 80% of that career is failure, 90 maybe. And that there's that 10% which is good moments, successes, achievements and stuff like that. But these are so valuable that they're worth the 90% of, struggling and failure. So I've definitely come up short a lot of times. One of the times I came up short, the most recent one, was with the national team. I got cut. I was the last guy to get cut from the national team right now from the Eurobasket in 2025. I know the American people don't know much about that, but to us it's a big deal. I got cut 13. That was a big shortcoming. But before that, man, there were like shortcomings and failures the whole time. Just I would set goals to beat my teammates in practice, and I would fail. And then I would do the same thing again the next day, and I would fail again and fail again, up until I would outwork them to the point where I could not fail anymore. And then a new opponent, quote-unquote opponent, obviously would show up, and I had to do the same thing again and again. But it's part of the process, and I would fail again, right? But as I said, it's part of the process, and it's just what you have to do to be what you want to be.
Yeah. I think that's a noble mindset. And a lot of people, I think you hear a lot of professional athletes talk about that. I remember one year after the Bucks were eliminated from the playoffs, Giannis was asked if he viewed that season as a failure. And he just kind of responded, and he used Michael Jordan as an example and said he won 6 championships. Was every other season a failure? It's about learning from those failures, because the quicker you fail, the quicker you succeed. And so going through those failures and going through them with a growth mindset rather than getting frustrated, and just understanding that it's part of the process. And 100%. It sounds like you enjoy that process.
Hell yeah.
Which is really, really impressive. And
this is definitely one of my favorite clips. Like he explained it so to the point. Like, it's just steps to success. Failure is steps to success. It's like he was on point, man.
Absolutely. And throughout this journey, what are some of the values that you've kept up, and the mindset that you've had throughout this entire journey? How do you think you came to those values, and just kind of speak to those, what you've had in mind throughout this journey?
Well, it's been a long journey. It's been a long time that I've been struggling with my own thoughts, my own, self-doubt sometimes, and it's been a long time that all that you have to deal with in a specific way in order to be what you want to be, as I said before. So by doing so, I definitely cultivated a sense of perseverance, if that makes sense. Just constantly falling short to your goals, or even making them, does not have to and must not change your mentality. You still have to push forward, push up until you either fail again or you ultimately succeed. So definitely perseverance, discipline. I feel like I'm a very disciplined guy. I take pride in my discipline. I work out a lot, and I will not stop. And even if my body's tired, I'll keep going, because I want to be the most disciplined guy in the team, in every team I'm in. Discipline, perseverance, and patience. Patience is a big part of it. You know, when if it's your time to sign, you're gonna sign. This is what I believe. If it's time for you to work and fail, then you have to embrace the work and the failure you're gonna, encounter, so that you can ultimately sign when your time is right. So being patient, being disciplined, keep pushing are the three things that I try to have in my mind, especially through hard times. One of my favorite quotes, a friend of mine back home has tattooed this quote in his wrist, and I didn't know that it was from a movie. Actually, it's from the Lord of the Rings, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Which means like this too shall pass. Have you heard about this?
I don't think I have.
It's like basically saying this too shall pass. And I was like, hey, Mano was his name. I'm like,
Okay.
what does this stand for? He was like, you might be going through the worst time of your life right now, but that will pass. And the same thing goes with the most successful and best time of your life. Like, don't be too low, don't be too high. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep pushing. And I feel like that's the right way to go about with, not just basketball, but life in general.
What advice might you have for the viewer? Like you said, there are times when it's your time to shine and times when you maybe need to step back and let others excel. What advice would you have for somebody who maybe isn't going through a time where it's their time to shine, where maybe it's more about working on themselves, getting better each day, and kind of seeing others shine? What advice would you have for a person in that situation?
My advice would be to, a lot of people, and I've been this guy, like especially when I was starting in my when I was 15-year-old kid,
Mm-hmm.
I would see other guys succeed, and I would be like jealous of them, and I would try to, I don't want to say, I was trying to, he would do something good, and I'd be like, it's okay, How do you say that in English? Like, try to put them down a little bit, Does it make sense?
Yes, sir, absolutely. Just
try
kind
to-
of demeaning their
demeaning.
accomplishments
That's
a
a
little
word.
bit.
Try to demeaning their accomplishment and stuff like that. When I feel one advice would be when you are like genuinely not happy, but you can be happy, but like give credit to the guy that just succeeded. It will help you, because by doing that, you will also be more able to see why they succeeded. When you see a guy succeeding, you be like, it's okay. You don't really go behind what this whole thing is and see why they succeeded. You're like demeaning it. You're like, it's not nothing. I can do that. Well, how can you do that? How can I do that? You don't go into that though. You just say you can. When you see a guy who's doing great, and you're like, man, congrats, like, good job. You can actually be like, how do you do that? Or imagine, or ask him even, or just try to be better. It gives you motivation. So I'd say, like, stop demeaning others and focus on yourself. Focus on what you're doing right. Focus on what you have to do better, on what you have to be better. Like, if the other guy fails, it's his failure. If he succeeded, his success. That doesn't have to do with you. You're your own entity. You're on your own most of the time. Not a lot of people are going to be there when you fail. A lot of people are going to be there when you succeed. This too shall pass, though,
Mm-hmm.
It comes back to
Yeah.
that. So this too shall pass. Keep focused on yourself. Don't care about what others do. Care in a sense that will make you better, It's like, when with failure, you can see it in two ways. The first way is like, I give up. Or the second way is like, I learn from it. The same way goes with other people succeeding and realizing that, hey, he succeeded or he failed. This is why he did so. And this is what I can get from this whole story. So I can be better. That's what I would say.
So it's a combination of celebrating other successes and also trying to learn from those people.
100%.
Yeah, that's
100%.
I think that's a great way to learn, just keeping a positive mindset and focusing on how you can learn from other people. I think that's super valuable. So was there a moment for you where you really realized that, I know you said when you were 15 you didn't expect to be where you were today. Was there a moment when you kind of realized, like, man, I can be special, or I can provide financial freedom for myself and for my family. I can do something with my basketball career. Was there a moment where you kind of came to that realization?
Well, when I was like around 17 years old, I was playing for 2 years, which is nothing. Like the guys that were 17 by that time had been playing for like 10 years already. I was just playing my second year of basketball, and I was not the best, but I was the hardest working dude on the planet Earth. I felt like at that point, man. I'm telling you, I was working myself off.
Yeah.
You know,
Controlling what you can control.
controlling what not so much at that point. I would let other stuff influence me a lot. Well, when I was at this point, I was like, if I make a Greek basketball league team, I will be able to do what I want to do. Because it was a huge accomplishment for me to be even, of interest for some of that team. Even if I was not going to be playing a lot, I was like, if I can make that, it means someone sees something in me. Someone at that level sees something in me. So when Peristeri came to me and they were offered me a contract, I was like, man, I can do this. Like I can do this. Look at that. I've been playing for 2 years and they offer me a contract now. Like all this work had paid off. By the time I was working for 2 years, I was working out like basketball wise for like 2 years. But in these 2 years, I had work as if I was working for like 15, man. I was working every day relentlessly, like all day. And I was like, some people see this, man. It's not just me who's struggling right now. Some people see the struggle and they appreciate it and they feel like I can be what I dream to be. So when they offered me a spot, I was like, I can do that. And then, I didn't play when I played like 3.5 seasons in a Greek basketball team. That half season was like, so as I said, there were academies, right? So we had an under 18 team. So while I was in the under 18 team and played with the under 18 team, I got a call from the men's team, basically. So, but that was half season. So I went there, played some games actually, and but it was not much. And then the next year, I got the official contract. I signed my first contract, and it went off from there.
At 18?
At 18.
So 3 years after you began playing.
So yeah, basically 3 years.
Wow, that's really impressive.
And let me say that. So one of the most legendary guys that I've ever touched the basketball in this earth, Vassilis Spanoulis, was the coach for that team, right? He's a European legend. He's played in the NBA actually. I think I was telling you about this the other day. Have you heard the story with Tracy McGrady?
Oh yeah, you were telling me. This is a good story.
So basically, what happened was, Coach Spanoulis, who was then the player Spanoulis, after a great year with Panathinaikos, he went to the Houston Rockets. Right? He was talking with the GM. This story is crazy, but this is who my coach is, right? So he was talking with the GM and the coaches, and they were like, a few games went by. If I'm not making any mistakes, a few games went by, and he was like not getting much play time. So he tried to talk with the coach, or maybe before even the games, the coach told him that he's not like, I'm not
gonna play you much.
Not gonna play you much. Like I got Tracy McGrady here. Like, what are you expecting, basically? Coach Spanoulis, the player Spanoulis, again looked up at him like, what are you talking about? I'm Tracy McGrady back home. I'm Tracy McGrady in Europe, man. So he left the next year. He
got humbled a little bit.
Yeah, I won't say he got humbled, man. This guy does not get humbled. He's a humble guy, but he's a beast. Like he came back, won EuroLeagues, which is like tough to do. Trust me. Championships, legendary career. He was the first guy that Olympiacos retired a jersey for. His first coaching season, his first season as a coach, it was my first basketball season, So our paths crossed.
Yeah.
At such a crucial point for me, because I was like just 18 years old. And it's an age that, it either breaks you or makes you at that age, because most of the guys now, you know, as I said before, with college basketball, you get from like high school to college and then men. But when you're done with college, you already are, you know, men. You're like 23, 24. Now you can be 25.
Now you can be 28 if you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. So back home, you go from playing with 17 years old to playing 35-year-old vets, right? So there's a gap of preparation, if that makes any sense, right? You don't just go from 18 to 20-year-olds and then men. Just go straight to men, man. It's tough. It's tough. A lot of kids don't make it. And this is why I'm saying it's a crucial point for your career. And me having this guy, Coach Spanoulis, who is like family to me at this point, I love him so much, and I'm so appreciative of what he's done for me. But me getting coached by him and, you know, making my first step as a man now to a men's league with him by his side was helped me so much, man. Shaped who I am as a person today.
Well, what were some of the things that he kind of taught and emphasized during that time for you? I know one of your biggest things is just how competitive you are, how passionate you are.
Yeah.
And from the stories you tell me, it sounds like you and Coach share that similarity.
Yes.
So was that kind of one of the things? What were some of the values that he emphasized as you made that transition during your young professional career?
I've never met a more competitive guy than Coach Spanoulis. Never in my life. Never met someone that wants to win so bad every time. Like it's madness. After one point, it's madness. Like I think Giannis was saying something about that, but it is, man. Like this guy just, first of all, he sleeps basketball, eats basketball. I don't know, dreams basketball, walks back. I don't know. He lives for that, and he wants to win every single time. So he taught me what it takes to win, like what it takes to be a winner, as a teammate, as an individual, as a brother, as a friend, as a guy, as a man. He was always about winning, and he and what he was saying was that, you know, there's two kinds of people in this earth. It's like people and winners, and there's a huge difference between these two categories, right? So he taught me a lot of stuff about how to be a winner. I try to be a winner in my everyday life, and if I'm making steps to it, it's because of him, you know, because I'm not a winner yet. But if I'm making good steps to it, it's definitely because of him.
Yeah, and you behave like a winner.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and even Coach Kelsey talks about that a lot, just having the everyday winning habits, and to be elite, to be in the 1%. I really like that quote. You can either be you could either be a person, you could be a winner.
Yeah,
because a big part of winning is just being in the 1%, fighting human nature every day, being able to have this uncommon commitment to people around you, to be able to give 100% in every rep and everything that you do. Just having those everyday winning habits and going about life with that type of mentality is super valuable.
This does correlate with some of the stuff PK says too. You know how he says that there's average and there's people that are above the line.
The mountain of average.
Yeah. There are people that are above the line and below the line. Well, the people that are above the line are the winners.
Yeah.
Now below that are the people, because people, you know, by nature, they don't want to push themselves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in our minds. You know how we are fight or flight. People most of the time are flight now, because there's not many situations that they have to fight anymore in their lives, you know. Like back in the day, maybe if a tiger attacks you, you had to, I don't know, fight back. Now you can flight. You can take a flight from everything that you had to go against with, you know. It's like so easy. You don't have to. You just stay home, or you don't do something, or you don't go to shoot, or you know, whatever that might be. Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it does. I feel like it does correlate. Like the above the line, PK talks about it, are the winners, and then below are the people, you know.
And it's an everyday battle to fight. You have to fight human nature, and to fight to stay above the line is the best way to go about things.
I love how PK like talks about the stuff like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
because it translates.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about that? Like all the stuff that preaches to us, I feel like he's a leader at that.
Oh, absolutely. And I think he practices what he preaches, and you can see
100%.
that in his everyday
100%.
life. And just so much of the culture that surrounds our program and that we build our program on can be translated in just how you live life, whether it's being above the line, whether it's never delaying gratitude, whether it's being motivated by the most powerful force in the universe, it's love.
Yep.
There's just so many things that you can translate into your life to better yourself and to improve ultimately. I've got kind of a specific question, and I'm sure during when you signed that contract when you were 18, there may have been a switch in your level of confidence, because when you were 15, you didn't expect to be where you are today, and then you sign a professional contract when you're 18 years old. I'm sure that's got to have an effect on your confidence. And how important is confidence in the journey? Like how much does that have an impact? How can people work to keep their confidence high when maybe things aren't going the best for them?
Man, Will, these are great questions. But Will, I'll say something that you might not expect. You know, when I signed that contract and I started playing for the men's team, my confidence did this. You know, it decreased dramatically instead of increased, because, you know, I got humbled like real quick. You know, to be able to deserve a contract, you had to be good at that age. And I was good, like compared to the other 18 years old at that point. I was better than them, at least at the Greek level. You know, I don't know, but you go with that mentality that you can do it, and that, hey, I've been doing so well, and I've been playing for 2 years only, and look at me now, I signed a contract to going against grown men, and we had a great team the first year, like EuroLeague players, and you go against those people, and all of a sudden you're like, you're the person now. You're not the winner no more. You're the below average guy that, you know, you gotta work your way up again. So that really shook up my confidence a lot. Like I started to not believe in myself. I started to have self-doubt. But one of the things I did to cope with that, and one of the advice I would give to people who do that, who do cope with self-confidence, is that you have to outwork your self-doubt. Like, whenever you feel like you might not be good enough, just go work. Like, do something most people below the line would not do, you know? Go work out this doubt. Like, make sure that if you could do something for that doubt today, like if I doubt myself with free throws, let's say, and I wake up, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I'm a really good free throw shooter. Just go shoot some free throws, man. Go shoot some floaters. I don't know, whatever that might be. You know what I'm saying?
Your signature floater.
Yeah, my signature floater. We haven't seen that in a while, but and you also asked me if I believe confidence has to do a lot with performance also. I feel like if you take the worst basketball player you've ever seen in your life, I'm dead serious. Like, let's go to pick a game on open courts right here and pick up someone and talk to him about how great he is and how we believe in him, how he's going to be the one. Bro, he's going to be hooping like Michael Jordan for I don't know, for the rest of his life. Like, I really believe it has to do a lot, but it's tough to gain that. And confidence is momentum too, you know? It's like you do one thing good, and then you do the second thing good, and then the third thing good, and then and suddenly you're playing good, and now you feel good, and now I don't want to say you cannot be stopped, but Mikael Brown is like tough to stop right now. I'll tell you
pretty
that.
Tough to stop.
Pretty
Played pretty well last night. We're recording this the day after the Kentucky game.
Yeah.
Mikael Brown Jr. scored 29 points and just
5 assists, man. This guy
tore up Kentucky's defense. And so with that confidence, and so Zoo, you kind of spoke to confidence and outworking your doubts and the value in that. I hear a lot of people talk about sometimes where, you know, if you're nervous about something, then you might just feel unprepared. You know, nerves and excitement are really just the same thing in our body, and it's how we perceive them. And it's really, really important that, like you said, if, you know, you're not confident in your free throws, then you go work on your free throws. Is that kind of the main advice you would give to people who are maybe trying to find their confidence in their craft right now? Would you just say to continue working and to stay positive and be confident in your work?
Man, that's a tricky one because at the end of the day, confidence is just a feeling that it can wear off, you know. But once it wears off, because it will eventually at some point, at some degree, wear off, and maybe eventually you get it back again. It's just a feeling, though. We have to keep in mind that it's just a feeling. I feel like when it does wear off, you go back to your values and what you actually really believe. Like when you've been playing great, now 2 games you didn't do so well. Now you kind of sick up a little bit. What's your reaction?
Mm-hmm.
What's your R?
Yeah. What is your R? E plus R equals O.
Yeah. So what you do then will determine, in my opinion, if that confidence would come back. Like if you have a bad game, but you do what you would do if you had a great game, then eventually you have that great game again. What I'm saying is like, if I was to shoot today 100 free throws, as I said, because I suck at free throws, and I went to the game and made all of them, the next day, now I don't suck at free throws no more. Let's say I don't suck at. The next day, I still have to shoot these free throws, Stick to your plan, stick to your process, stick to your things you have to do. And then next game, even if I miss them, even if I make them or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Because the result is going to be the same. My reaction is going to be the same either way, I'm still going to shoot them. This is how I started thinking about offense, because, back home when I was playing with the men's team now, I get limited minutes. I was thinking that when I go on the court, now I gotta score everything. Like if I get to shoot the basketball, I better score it, But and it's just added pressure to me, and pressure. And I was like, look, I'm the hardest working guy here. Whatever happens, even if I make it or I miss it, I'm still gonna stay after the game and shoot. I'm still gonna go tomorrow morning and shoot, and tomorrow afternoon and shoot, and then the day after tomorrow I'm still gonna do the same thing. So it doesn't even matter. Let me be great at what can I control. It can be defensive stuff, block out stuff like that, and let the game unfold for me. Don't force stuff. Don't do nothing. Just I've worked so much on the stuff I need to work on. I've done my part. Now if that cute little Lawrence thing wanna go in, it will go in. If it doesn't want to do so, it would go the next time,
Yeah.
I mean,
so
it's out working, man.
It's consistency in that approach. That's the most important things. Results, you can find joy in good results and ultimately learn from bad results. But at the end of the day, it's valuing the process and
100%.
sticking to that process and being confident in your work, like we talked about earlier. Just before we wrap things up, Zoo, looking back at this journey, it's been a heck of a journey for you.
Yeah,
very, very successful so far. And just at age 21, just kind of looking back, is there anything you would have changed about your journey?
It's a great question. No, man. And, right now you're talking to a guy that has struggled so much. Like, you can't even imagine, man. There was days that I was just getting ready to go for practice and crying while putting my shoes on, Like, I didn't want to do that no more. I was struggling so much with how things were going, but I would never change that. I would, if I could go back again to this moment, I would go back with so much happiness that I would get to relive, this part of my life where I struggled, and because at the end of the day, the struggle makes you who you are today, and I'm happy for who I am. I strive to be a better person, a better Christian, a better athlete, better family member, brother. So I'll definitely not change nothing. I would just embrace it all from the beginning again if I had to go back to it.
Yeah, I think that's really, really neat that you have gratitude for all the hills and the valleys throughout your journey, because ultimately, if you don't appreciate the journey and what you've been through, then you're really not experiencing life in the right way. Like we kind of say on here, a lot of people's success is shaped by their experience, just in the same way people are shaped by their experiences. And so having gratitude for the journey and each experience, whether it's good or bad, is super valuable, and it sounds like you've really learned from everything you've gone through.
Yeah, man, 100%.
Just before we leave, what specific advice would you give your younger self, and what general advice do you have for the viewer?
I'll give the same advice to the viewers I was to give to my younger self. I just don't know what that could be. I think that'd be about, keep going, like being consistent. Like as I said, I wouldn't change my past. So I wouldn't really say much to the younger guy.
Yeah.
I would, to my younger self, maybe
Trust the process.
Trust the process. Exactly. This is exactly what I would say. Trust the process. Trust that everything is gonna go as you're dreaming, as long as you do your part on the stuff you can control, right?
Yeah, because that's ultimately all you can do. So Zoo, you've played professionally overseas. You're a big time college basketball player. You've done all the things. Who is the most famous person that you've met and have gathered their contact? Who's the most famous person that's in your phone?
I mean, it has to be Giannis.
You have Giannis's phone number.
I do have Giannis. We were teammates this past summer in the Greek national team.
NBA champion,
NBA
MVP,
two-time MVP,
Giannis
man.
Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, legend. I think I have his number. I think he's not gonna pick up though. Like,
Let's see.
Let's see.
So Zoo he's 250. He's got muscles on muscles.
okay,
And for today's segment, if Giannis Antetokounmpo answers the phone, I'm sure you know him, but I understand there's a chance in which he does not pick up. But if he does, then for your interest, we've got
you go.
the organic protein, peanut butter cup flavored protein powder.
There you go.
We'll leave it here on the table. Let's give Giannis a ring.
Now he better pick up now.
He owes you some protein
Let's
if
see.
he doesn't.
Let me go to Mark on this one.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
There you go. Well, I can call him right now,
That'd
but
be a big
I
time
don't think he's
feature.
gonna pick up.
Tell him you're on Behind the Grind and see if he's familiar with the series.
I'll ask him. I don't think he's gonna pick up though. Let me see.
Yeah, man.
Oh, there you go. By the way,
The Bucks are like top seed in the East right now.
yeah,
He's
they're
probably
doing great,
worried.
man. He's killing it
He's
right
killing
now
it.
too.
Best season of his career, possibly.
Come on now, man.
Come on,
now.
Giannis.
Come on.
What could he possibly be up to?
I don't know, but he will owe me some
But
protein powder for sure, man.
Yeah, he does.
I'm
Wow.
a fault, man.
man,
I'm not
that's
gonna
all right.
keep bothering
It's
him.
all
I'm
right,
not gonna
you know.
keep bothering him.
You know, we can get past that.
I know. We're good. It's okay.
Well, since you've been such an amazing guest and you've given such great advice to me and to the viewer, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give you the protein powder anyway.
Thank you, man. Let me
you
see
can
that.
put it. You can make a milkshake, a smoothie
I
with it.
appreciate you,
Like
brother.
I said, he's a developing chef,
Appreciate-
so he
I
could
am.
he could make anything with it.
There
He
you
might
go.
make some peanut butter protein banana bread when he gets home. Who knows?
I like that stuff. I like that healthy stuff.
Yeah.
Man, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was a great time. I loved it, and I can't wait to listen to this episode. First of all,
Yeah.
What's your next guest?
My next guest, so we're not going to release the identity of our next guest.
Okay.
We will be having hints posted on social media throughout this week for you guys to guess next week's guest appearance. But just know it's going to be a good one.
I trust you.
He's a legend here in the Ville.
Okay.
It's going to be good
Okay.
stuff.
All right.
So Zoo, once again, thank you so much for joining us today on our first episode. You were an amazing guest. I can't
Appreciate
thank you
you, man.
enough
Appreciate
for
you. No, thank
sharing
you.
your experiences, sharing what you've learned, and you've made me a better person for it. And I hope
Thank you,
the
man.
viewer has had the same experience there. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to our first episode. Like I said, we'll be having hints posted this week throughout social media. So for you guys to guess our next guest appearance. Thank you very much for joining us. This has been Behind the Grind. I am your host, Will Hanke. I'll see you guys next week. Keep on grinding.